blob blob file multimedia files inside some database. In this I'm using MySQL database. So this is the point. I have three files, three three routines in special. I have a lot of routine because I'm developing a website. So these routines belongs are going to belong or is belonging to this website. Um, so I'm going to go to database because you need to connect to the database. You need to define. You need a host. You need a user. You need a password. You need a database name. And this is the command. This is the sentence. This is the sentence. Uh, but you connect to the database. You see, this is a variable, and this is the important point. New MySQL I inside parentheses host user password and database name. And so down in the file in the routine, so I just define uh, a selection a selection structure. So uh, if the connection is right, um, you uh, establish on the screen connected. If not, you define not connected or whatever. So we this is database PHP, database PHP. So we are going to go to carga archivos to carga archivos 2. See, uh, I'm include the database PHP, so we see before database PHP, and I include layer dir PHP, layer dir uh, dot PHP, and this is the function. And this function I call layer dir function inside the file layer dir dot PHP. I don't know, maybe uh, 50 times, 15 times. So because I call this routine so much time is because I send a different parameter. At least one parameter is different in every moment, in every call. Do you see? In this routine, I pass a parameter that is a route, a path, and another is some parameter uh, by I'm going to choose the option right, the option the correct, the right option. So you see, this is the structure of the routine. You see, this is the structure of the routine in page P. So you define the the files page P you include before, and you define the function. You define the code inside the function, and and when you uh, close the function, the code of the function, you call the function deep down in the code of the routine in return. So we are going to go to the left dir function, there dir PHP. Sorry, you see. So we can explain only line of the routine, but I'm going to, I'm gonna take a lot of time. So I'm going to define the most important point. Uh, First, you need to define. You need to define. This is sentence is important because you need to define uh, the limit of the memory. So I've defined 10 gigas, 10 gigabytes. But the most important point, I think, in my case, I'm going to change this because this is in local host, in my local host. But because I'm going to manage on the website, I'm going to manage. I don't know. Sorry. Uh, More than 10 gigabytes. Um, I don't know. Uh, with the time, I'm going to define maybe I don't know, terabyte, terabyte maybe. So in this way, I'm going to change it. But by this moment, it's enough. It's 10 gigabytes. 10 gigabytes is the limit. I define the limit of the memory because I manage videos. So if you don't define this, you are going to have a problem of 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 the limit of the memory. So this is important, and I include the database PHP. Why I include the database? Because I connect to the database. I connect to the database. I connect to the database. So uh, because of that, I define database PHP. Again, I define a variable. This is I'm going to chain in two. I think I'm going to chain in two. This is this variable. I define a false because we are going to see after because of this exist variable. This is the point. This is the structure of the code. I'm open a directory. I read the directory and I see I define a selection. You see, and then assign and then assign to a variable some string of the every 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 file I read in the directory. Right? You understand? I define a substring because I need to define the name of the file inside the root. You see, because of that is this. Because of that is this. You see, I read the directory and then assign a this variable archivo. Because of that, I define a substring and I should uh, inside the the structure that is written in the directory, I should the name of the file. And this is the structure of the selection. This is the structure of the selection. You see, this variable Camino comes inside this parameter. You remember? One is for audios, two is for videos, three is for GIF, Four is for I don't remember. Design. Five for photos. Six is for animation. You see, this is the good. At this point, in every selection, I'm define a query. I define a query. This is the way you define a query. This is the sentence. This is the structure. This is the function to define a query. By in MySQL I query the connection. This is the structure. This is the structure of the query in SQL. Select the number audio from audios, where number audio is equal a variable cadena. So in this I repeat in every selection. You see, this is the structure to to fetch the selection. Because if you don't do it this way, you aren't going to get a good result. You are not going to get a good result. So this is the function. It's the same structure in the code in the routine. You see, it's the same structure. I only change. I only change the name. The name of the field in the database in the table. Uh, Maybe I should define a call in another routine, but when I develop the structure of the code, uh, I define this way, and when I run the routine, I see it was working. So I didn't want to change. I didn't want to change the routine again because it's working. It's working. The routine is working. So this, you see, this is the option. We are going to get back to the carga choose to page speed. You see, it depends the path. It depends the route. It depends the option. You see, audio is for one, video is for two, design is for three, GIF is for four, photos is for five, the animation is for six. So we are going to get back to letter there. You see, this is the option. You see, we are going to get up in the code. One is for audio. You see, one is for audios, two is for videos, three is for design, four is for GIF, five for photos, six is for animation. And we define in this part, in this section, I'm going to check if the the name of the file exists on the table. In every table for audios, table for videos, table for design, table for GIF, table for photos, table for animation. If we find a file, a name of the file inside the table, we define this variable like true. See, in every moment exists true, and what that happened, the structure of the routine didn't cover, didn't curse this part of the routine, because I define a conditional. You see, if we find a file inside the table, we didn't put another file. I didn't insert another file because I find the name of the file in the table. But if it's not in that way, so I cover the part of the insert. You see, in this way, I only define a field in the table that is idioma. So this is the point. I define a point. I I looking I l- I'm look for inside the directory Arabic. I look for inside the directory Chinese in another option. I look inside the directory English. If not, I look inside the directory every every word: German, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, because I manage audios in 10 languages, and I assign a some variable the name of of this of this idioma in every idioma. So this is the point. Again, I define it depends of the variable. If is one, we insert in audios, in table audios. If uh, the variable comes to, I insert in videos table. If it's three, I insert into design tables. If it's four, I insert inside GIF tables, and so on. So you see, this is the point. I'm going to define some important point this way. This is the point. Lectura archivo. We are going to go to lectura archivo because it's important. This is, this is important, lectura archivo. Because it's important, because you define in lectura archivo the the portion of the routine where you define um, the sentence necessary, the sentence necessary to put inside the field of the table the BLOB file. This is the point. Okay. If the name of the file didn't exist on the table, we get inside the part of the routine. You see, I open the directory. I open the file in the directory. I read I read the file, and I define the size of the file. I read the directory with the name of the directory, with the with the, with the open of the directory, like parameter, and like parameter the size of the file, and I assign a variable. And you need to define the sentence. It's important because if you don't do it this way, I don't know. I think you are going to have problems. You didn't buy slash, uh, you know, slashes. You didn't define slashes because um, the interpreter didn't manage this slash. So you need to define this sentence. So I assign at the same variable another value of the variable. So add the slashes is important. Add the slashes sentence with the parameter lectura archivo, and I assign to lectura archivo, and I close. And when I assign this, in this lectura archivo, this variable, I'm going to see. I see. I saw before. You see, lectura archivo when I insert into the every table, and this is the point. When I close the archivo digital, it's no big deal because I assigned the important point lectura archivo. So we get back. This is the point. In every, when I said before, it depends. In option 1, insert into audios. In option 2, insert into videos. In option 3, insert into diseños. In option 4, insert into GIF. In option 5, insert into photos. In option 6, insert into animation. Y animaciones. It's in Spanish. This variable is in Spanish. We are going to go. This is the point. When we define a 0 in ID, is because the ID is auto increment. It's increment in a automatic way. So because of that, it's 0. So cadena is the name of the name, the structure, the name of the file in the directory. Remember when the substring I assign inside cadena lectura archivo. This is the point in tipo design, because tipo in the table is blob. It defines long blob because I'm assigned a big files, a files with a big size. Because of that, is long blob, and lectura archivo, remember, is in this portion of the time. You see, y remember idioma is just in audios, and insert in this way. So this is the structure of into insert into the table. This is message to see what happened in the code. So I'm going to change this sentence at the end because it's not necessary. So this is the point. This is the structure, and I put the directory. I define the file of the size of the file. Uh, so at the end, I close the connection and I close the directory, and I'm going to get back. Um, and I'm going to get back to the structure of the cargo choose to. See, if I don't do it this way, I should debug every every in every moment of this. all this could. See, imagine. So because of that, I define the routine. Even so, the routine of the layer deer is a big routine, but it's working right now. So I hope when I define all the website, I hope the routine didn't spend too much time. So anyway, so I'm going to go. This is the point. I'm going to go at the spawn of time. I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to go to the table. This is the routine. I'm going to go to the table. This is the table I have right now. You see, it's working. You see, in audios I have system system files. In photos I have system files. In GIF I 14 files. In videos I 4 files. This is the important point. It's 1 gigabyte in the size of the database 1 gigabyte. If I delete something, this 1 gigabyte home gonna change, are going to keep, and going to remain. So if you delete, you need to define optimize optimize table, the name of the table semicolon, where here you need to define in this section of the SQL the sentence to recover the spice on this chain, the spice on this loss wasted. So you need to define in the way we are going to define the way. I don't I I'm not going to execute the sentence, but I'm going to define um, optimize table in every table. It depends. Most important point is this. Is this? If you execute this to recover the space, to recover the space wasted, you see? Okay, this is the point. I'm going to delete because right now, right now, it's okay my table. I'm going to go back. Cancelar. I'm going to go back. You see, this is the portion of time. We are going to get back. We are going to see every the table that have information, that have data. You see this way. You see, it's inside. It's inside the information. This is the point. You see, Spanish. This is the idioma. It's because of that idioma. You see, this is the blow, the size. This is the ID. This is the ID. The ID is generated in automatic way. So I don't define an in the ID. The ID is generated in automatic way. It generated in automatic way. You see, this is the English, Chinese, Spanish. You see, it's BLOB. It's inside. It's working the routine. You see? So we are going to get back the northwest. We are going to go back, and Norway's photos. We are going to examine examine. So you see, it's inside. It's inside the table. You see, this is the name of the photos, the tip, the type, blow, and the size. The classification is generic, and this is the ID. So, because I don't define this, because it's uh, invites. So I don't know. Maybe um, uh, the information is not able to see in a good way. So because I need to define a routine to put inside the browser, put inside the browser uh, the sentence correct to this uh, to see the photo, the sentence correct by PHP, by JavaScript, sorry, JavaScript and PHP. So it's not the moment to see the file, but right now it's inside the table. We are going to get back, and we are going to see videos. You see, I don't know. I have some problems in videos because I don't know. When I define examiner, we are going to see what happened. Maybe because when I define uh, before and I delete some file, some um, lines inside the table, it was difficult uh, because I was wasted space in the disk. So you see, I don't know. I don't see, but the files is there, but I don't see in the in when I select all the files. You see, I don't see the structure of the of the of the information, but it's there right now. It's there. See, it's there. See, four files. And this is the size is 740 740 megabytes. 740 megabytes. The most of the 1 gigabyte. So we are going to go back. Uh, you see, okay. Right now, I'm going to do something important. I'm going to do something important. This point of time. Give me some time. Uh, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna put another file inside the directory in the local host. Uh, and I'm going to execute the routine again. You see, I have connected my tablet. We are going to go. Oh my god, shit. Uh, yeah, we are are going to see what I'm going to go. I don't have information. I want to get back. We are going to see photos. I tengo un GIF. I have GIF. So I'm going to put inside GIF. So we not define the local host is is the information is not real because it's approved data. Approved data. So uh, you need to define whatever kind of information where we are going we, when you are proving the the routine, you no need to define the correct data, uh, the true data. It's correct data, but not the true data. We are my good again. Oh shit. Okay. At this point of time. Okay. I'm gonna copy this information. I'm gonna copy this information and I'm going to go to the local host. This is local host. This is the path. Yeah, I'm going to go to GIF. This is um I'm going to see what happened. Yeah, I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back in this point of time. So we are going to go to the tablet again. This I'm going to get back to the table. You see, we are going to go. Let's see. I'm going to put in the sign. I don't have information in the sign. I'm going to put something in the sign. It's a lot of information. A lot of information. Give me some time. Give me some time. I need to select the right information. So I'm going to see what happened. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. of information, and it's no big deal. So I need to define something. So this point should this. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go in this way. We're going to go to the. I'm going to go to a local host. I'm going to. I'm going to put inside this the sound, the signs or the signs. So in this way, so we're going to see what happens. It's a lot of information, so I don't know. My good. Okay, it's enough. So we are going to go. This is the point. Okay. You see, this is the interpreter. PSP is inside the path of the of the interpreter, the path of the interpreter of the compiler, because it's executable, it's interpreter or compiler, whatever. Uh, the path is in Tor variables, inside in Tor variables, and administration of the operating system, operative system, system operative system, operative system. Sorry, we go back. And because of that, I don't define what is the executable of PHP. This is the compiler of the PHP, and this is the file of PHP I need is interpreter. Sorry, because I don't define executable of PHP of the carga archivos PHP or whatever routine of PHP. So we are going to execute. So you see, it's executing. By now, it's finished. So we are going to see. We are going to see the table. We are going to see the table. We want to refresh the table. You see the signs. You see the signs. Uh, the sign. I don't remember the fine GIF. I don't. I remember for we was GIF. I need to see. I don't know, but it must be execute inside GIF. 40 gigs with this with this size and blow. We are going to get back and we are going to go design. Design is important. 78, 78 design. This, you see, this is the point. With the size, it's inside the table. See, you see, it's no big deal because what is the size? It's 1 GB. It didn't reflect only 1 GB. I need to see what happened. It didn't reflect because in relation 1 GB, keep in 1 GB because it's the sign is 36 megabytes. So I don't know if it's factor to 1 GB. So anyway, it's working. You see, working the information. So I'm going to execute again. My good. Um, so he didn't. I don't know. 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 I'm going to see what happened. It's not working. So sorry. It's working. It's working. We are going to see. See, it's the same. It's the same. It didn't change. Nothing. It's the same. It's the same structure. 1 GB for videos. We are going to go. We are going to go. I'm going to execute again. Yeah. It didn't record nothing. We are going to go. We are going to refresh. You see? It's the same. It's the same structure. So it's working. The system is working. So this is the point. And this is the routine. Remember, database to connect to the database. In my case, in MySQL, the routine characteristics too. But this routine I pass to another routine, different parameter, a path where I find the files, and another parameter to choose the right option inside the routine layer there. We are going to go to layer there again, and you see this is the all option I said before. This all the code it work and it's working. You see working. I prove it.